Surprise, motherfucker.
So welcome back to another episode of Matt's Mailbox, where you guys send me your questions and I do my best to answer them. So if you'd like to get your question answered in the next episode and be with a chance of winning yourself some Battlefield 4 dog tags, all you have to do is leave all your questions in the comment section below. So the first question today comes in from Battlefield Daily, and he asks, many players were unhappy with the bonus content of Battlefield 3 Premium. DICE promised exclusive content, but all we really got were camos for unpopular weapons. Do you think DICE have improved Premium in Battlefield 4? Well, the major difference between Battlefield 3 Premium and Battlefield 4 Premium has got to be the level of content. Now, as you said in the question, I myself was very disappointed with what we really did receive with Battlefield 3 Premium. Apart from the one knife, a few camouflages, and maybe one or two double XP events, there was very little to Premium. Of course, the main idea of it was to do with just paying for all of the DLCs all in one go, and a little bit cheaper than if you bought them individually, but the actual bonus content was very lacking. Now, just like many aspects of Battlefield 3, Premium felt like a little bit of an experiment, a little bit of a test to see if it would work for future Battlefield titles. I don't think Premium was a planned thing when Battlefield 3 was first released, so that's why I always think it felt a little bit incomplete, a little bit experimental. As you said in the question, we did see a few camouflages for certain weapons, and when we did have camouflages for a gun, there weren't many to choose from. But then of course with Battlefield 4, we now see camouflages for every single gun and a wide variety of camouflages to choose from. So I think the Premium in Battlefield 3 was definitely just a stepping stone, an experiment for Premium in Battlefield 4. Now I do think the bonus content of Battlefield 4 Premium has vastly improved since Battlefield 3. As I said earlier on, we did only get the one knife with Battlefield 3. I think we get about 4 or 5 knives with Battlefield 4, not to mention a whole variety of paints and camouflages, and of course the gold battle packs. Now these battle packs aren't actually that exclusive per se, because the content of those battle packs can still be unlocked in standard battle packs you would get without being a premium member. Now this is where the concept of pay to win comes into effect. EA and DICE don't want Battlefield to become a pay to win game, which is why with any future Battlefield game and any future premium service, I don't think we'll get any kind of chance to use exclusive weapons or attachments that will give us an advantage on the battlefield. Otherwise, it will immediately become a play to win game. You have to buy premium, spend extra money than just buying the game itself to get chance to use these exclusive weapons to give yourself an advantage on the battlefield. So premium members can never really expect to get anything very substantial with their bonus content. It's always going to be things that will have no real effect on the gameplay, more aesthetical based items, things like paints, camouflages, knives. Of course, no matter which knife you use, it still has the exact same effect, it just looks a little bit different. So I think the whole idea of Premium is more about a showmanship. It's not actually about changing your ability on the battlefield, but just telling other players you've actually gone and bought Premium. Now the next question for today is very short and sweet and comes in from Briley, and he asks, what are your current thoughts on the DMRs? Now these rifles seem to be a very hot topic, and they also seem to be something that DICE can't quite put their finger on how to balance. Now last time I talked to you guys about these weapons, I was telling you they were receiving a buff from how they originally were at the start of the game. Now, when the game first came out, DMRs were practically useless. Everyone was calling them the assist weapon because of course they were semi-automatic. You would hit a guy, maybe get 2 shots in, take 50% of his health, somebody else would then come in, finish him off, and you would just get the assist. So since then we have seen a massive buff to these weapons. They are now a lot more effective than they used to be, and now players are saying they're a little bit too overpowered. Now I do tend to agree with this statement, but I don't think it's to do with the damage model of these weapons that makes them OP. I do agree they should have had a buff to their damage before the patch. They were practically useless, so it is good now to see an increased damage model on these weapons so you can actually try and get some kills with them. But what I think makes these weapons a little bit overpowered is the fact they're so readily available for absolutely any class. Of course, being an all-class weapon, you can use this weapon with any gadget or any setup you like and still be very effective. If you imagine for a moment that these rifles were only available for the Recon class, we wouldn't see the amount of DMR spam we see on maps like Metro. Of course, a sniper has very little effective use on Metro, especially with the gadgets it has available. Unless you're going to try and flank around the enemy and use your spawn beacon, those kind of classes aren't that effective. So if we saw something like the DMR only available for the Recon class, I don't think we'd have the amount of DMR spam we currently have to deal with. because I must admit at the moment I do find these very frustrating. I call the DMRs the rifle for snipers who can't aim. If you want to kill a player that's very far away, take a sniper rifle. It's a lot more accurate, a lot more deadly. The DMR just seems to be a weapon for players who can't aim very well and just want to spam bullets downrange as quickly as possible. So I don't think we'll see a massive change to the DMRs in Battlefield 4, but hopefully in future Battlefield titles we won't see these weapons as readily available to every class in the game. So there are all the questions I have time to answer today. Don't forget, if you'd like to get your question answered in the next video, don't forget to leave those in the comment section below. And if you did enjoy this video and want to see more in the series, don't forget to hit like. It does help me out a lot and it is massively appreciated. But in the meantime guys, thank you for watching and I'll see you soon.